Hi everyone. So in this video, I'll be showcasing how a particular user can create a project using the DCKAP Integrator. And yeah, let's start with the steps. So I'm first, so this is the login screen or the homepage of the DCKAP Integrator. And the first step is obviously to log in into the DCKAP Integrator. So I give the username and the password and I log in. And now this is the screen where we, as a new user, this is what will show. So you'll have these information over here. I mean, basically it shows that we're using the DCKAP integrator, what you can do. And the major create new project or add new project button is down over here. So once you click on this, we can proceed on creating a new project. But before doing that, I just wanted to let you know, so if you already have projects created, so all of these projects will be shown in this screen and you would be able to navigate from one project to another. But as we do not have any projects, we have this particular screen where we can add a new project. So yes, I'm going to click on this add new project and we can start with the steps of adding the new project. And so this particular pop-up is pretty simple. It just asks the project name. So normally what we do is we give the company's or the client's name and the type of the pipe sinks. Is it development? It can be, or is it production or live? So it's just a naming convention that we use to differentiate between a live pipe or a development pipe. That's how a project name can be given, but as long as it is understandable in terms of what is the name of the project or what is the name of the client, that's how a project name can be given. After this, so you'll be having a particular button over here that's called more options. So once we click on this, we would be able to give a bit more description and a bit more configurations to this particular project while creation. So over here, project description is, as the name says, describing the project in words. So we can just write integration between system 1 and system 2. So system 1 can be anything like P21 ERP, and the system 2 can be something like the Magento e-commerce website. So these are just like placeholders or examples that I'm giving you. It can be anything as long as it is informative enough to describe the project can be added over here. The next step is to configure the time zone. So it's again pretty simple. It's basically the time zone where the client, or I mean, if you are the user and the client, you can give that particular location where the business is taking place. So over here, normally as an American user, we use times like Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Time, as you can see. So that's what I'm giving over here. But based on where the client is located at, we can give that particular time zone. So it's something that is specific to where the business is based out of. The next step is giving the console logs. So we have something called console logs, and there are two options, yes or no, and it's recommended to give it as a yes. And what the console logs are basically the records of it basically saves all the records of the syncs. And specifically, like if you have probably 100 records to be synced from one system to another, it saves it to a different text file. And so that's something that if we keep it as yes, all of these logs or all of these records are saved into one particular file which we can access. And that helps in two things. First of all, getting to know what records have been synced from one system to another, and another is it greatly helps us during error handling. And over here, the options over here are given. Normally we give all of them, but these are the options that are shared in terms of what are the specific information that needs to be saved in the console logs. The next one is activity logs. So what activity logs, and ideally we are going to give it as yes because it is recommended. So a DCKAP integrator project can be used by different users as well simultaneously. And so when that is done, when we click, assign the activity logs as yes, that means it's going to log in, or it's going to keep a record of all the users' activity that is going on into the project. So that gives us transparency, or at least helps us in error handling as well, into what user has done what. The next is email failure alerts. So this is also pretty simple. It's failure alerts sent as emails. And over here, if we give yes, which is recommended to do so, we can give one or multiple emails. for the email alerts to be triggered. So I'm just giving 2 email IDs for reference, and yeah, we can add more than one email to this failure alerts, and we can add them by using commas in between. Yeah, that's pretty simple. And the next part is failure alert trigger option. So it's basically related to email failure alerts, but over here we have 3 types of errors. A pipe can be partially failed, completely failed, or both. And we can assign the same over here. So normally it's recommended to give for pipes with any errors. So we can click on this, and that's where we can get all types of errors being triggered to the emails if this is given. The next one is project access. So as I said a few minutes back, that we can assign a project to multiple users. So over here I can give one or more users access, and so when I'm adding their email IDs over here, I can give them both admin or standard access. So for example, I'm giving standard access to Maria over here, and I can add another one as well just by typing their email addresses. So we need to make sure that they are logged in or already signed up into the DCKAP integrator before adding them here. If not, they get a new invitation to join the integrator. So over here, so I've given one as standard and one as admin. So basically the difference between standard and admin is an admin user would be able to edit certain configurations of the projects, but the standard one is only allowed to start or stop the syncs in general, and obviously would be able to view everything but not edit certain things. And the last one is project documents. So this is kind of self-explanatory. So you can upload documents from your files over here. So there are certain restrictions as to the type of files that you can upload, but yeah, this is just for reference if there are any files that requires those documents to be shown over here. So once we have all these details, we can click on create project, and yes, the project has been successfully created. So yeah, as you can see, we are into this project DCKAP dev over here, and yeah, that's how we create a new project. Yeah. Thanks everyone.
Subscribe to DCKAP on YouTube and explore the DCKAP learning playlist. Check the description below for more.